Well, we now have double the amount of exhibition space that we had in the previous museum building. So that offers us one very significant opportunity, which is that we can now put our collection on display for free to any member of the public. And that display really is about what design means. It's really a very accessible display about the different roles that design plays in the world. It's called Designer, Maker, User, and it takes three perspectives on design: the designers, the makers or manufacturers, and the users, since we know that the user is becoming increasingly implicated in the final product and the way products come out. Other than that, in the 2 temporary exhibitions, we'll be doing 6 temporary exhibitions a year. So that's quite a lively program of paid exhibitions alongside a major free offering. So the main exhibition we're opening with is called Fear and Love, and that is a wide-ranging, diverse show about the different interpretations of design today. And it's really trying to complicate the picture of what design is. A lot of people will come to the museum expecting to see chairs and products on plinths, and this is a very different show. It's not so much focused on objects or finished objects anyway. Really, it's about the context in which things are made. We live in a very complex, rapidly changing world, and all of the designers in this show are thinking about their role in the world, really, and what role design plays and can play. So we invited 11 designers from around the world to come to the gallery and make new commissions, installations about design that connects to underlying issues and themes that cause anxiety or apprehension. So, for example, there's a lot of anxiety around the pace of technological change, about the state of the environment, about automation, taking our jobs. And each designer has picked an issue that they care about, and they've communicated it through an installation. And it provides a very, in a way, strange and provocative perspective on design and how designers think today.
I was hired 10 years ago with a brief to move the museum to somewhere where it could grow, expand and fulfill its potential. Shad Thames was a great location, great converted redundant banana ripening warehouse just by Tower Bridge, but it was 3,000 square meters, just enough to cram in everything we needed to do, but for the staff there was no library, there was no archive, there wasn't a proper meeting room. We couldn't really do all the things we needed to do. So we did a scheme to say what is the ideal new museum, and we reckoned it was about 10,000 square meters, and we went off looking for the right location. We explored acquiring some land from the Tate behind the Turbine Hall. We looked at returning to Victoria and Albert Museum, where the Design Museum had its roots as the boiler house, and then we were offered the chance of acquiring the former Commonwealth Institute, a building which I remember as a child, then the most utopianly modern building in London. But by the time we came back to see it in 2008, it had this sense of decay and failure. There was a lake inside on the first floor. It had the insulation characteristics of a tent in the Arctic. But with the help of English Heritage, we could understand that we could adapt it enough to make it suitable for our purposes. So here we have 3 times as much space, a chance to show our collection free of charge, an auditorium with 200 seats, space for studios for younger designers, a great learning centre funded by the Swarovskis, which will allow us to welcome 60,000 learners every year, and a chance to grow our audience to something like we hope as in the steady year will be about 650,000. As Terence Conran said this morning at the launch of the new museum, we've grown up without growing old. We want to go on being relevant and contemporary, we want to go on being exciting, and we want to be able to collaborate with institutions around the world.
I think design has got a lot to do with quality of life. John Pawson, the architect for the interior, has done an absolutely beautiful job. It says everything about design, quality, attention to detail, and creating an atmosphere.
At a time when opportunities for young people in mainstream education to engage with creative and cultural learning are unfortunately being marginalised, the museum is making a significant investment in our learning programmes and our learning spaces, because we believe that this is where we can make a really important and significant contribution to help create the people the future needs. So the whole Design Museum is a campus for learning. We've designed learning to be at the heart of the museum, and that's learning in its broadest possible iteration. So we have programmes for schools, colleges, universities, we have programmes for families, for young people, we have a fantastic community engagement programme, and then we also have a more academic research programme. A lot of our activities are in partnership. One of our values of the organisation is collaboration, so working with learners to devise and develop content which is relevant for a very complex 21st century world. We also run a very wide-ranging design and enterprise programme called Design Ventura. We work annually with 10,000 14 to 16-year-olds who model the design process. We're connecting young people with their learning and the real world of design practice. So they adopt the roles within a design studio and they work to a creative brief, and the winning product in that process and programme then is taken to market through the shop. So these young people really are understanding the real world of design. We work with 4 early career designers in the first 5 years of their career. We have a dedicated studio space for them, which is adjacent to designer, maker, user. And our young people then work very closely with the designers on different projects, again based on the specialists of the particular theme of that year of designers in residence. We also have a very rooted community engagement programme which sits underneath the framework of design and well-being. So we've developed that programme based on the New Economic Foundation's 5 ways to well-being: give, connect, learn, keep active, take notice. So there are different strands in that community programme, and it works across all audiences. So that might be working with older learners, it might be working with families, with young people. It's a really interesting and really important element of the museum's work to be a resource for civic engagement, community engagement, part of the museum's mission to help create the people the future needs in a very complex world where those core design skills of problem solving, creative, working to an applied purpose, collaboration, iteration, we all know these are the skills that will help take our future forward in a way which can really promote design as a force for change and a force for good.
I think, from what I know, which is not everything, but from what I know, it's the best in the world. It's something that's open to everybody and hopefully is also useful.